Welcome to the table. And if you want not just unboxings, but to actually learn something about the most iconic and rare cards, whack that subscribe and like button below, and welcome to the familia. If not, glad you're here with us, Timmy, while you're still here with us, Timmy. Now today we're going to go through the first 10 releases of one of the most iconic, nostalgic, and yes, the first waifu, in my opinion, Yu-Gi-Oh card. Mystical Elf. This is for both Japan and North American releases. I'll show you what those cards looked like, the dates they released, the sets they released in. Let's jump right in. Boom. This is the first Mystical Elf ever released on April 4th, 1998 in the Bandai Generation 1 set. Bandai is not the same company as Konami, of course. Konami is the company that makes Yu-Gi-Oh cards today. Bandai made Yu-Gi-Oh cards before Konami, beginning with this set in April 1998. And Konami released their first Yu-Gi-Oh cards in July 1998. So there was this weird period where technically both companies were making Yu-Gi-Oh cards that year, but Konami would obtain exclusive rights early in 1999, and therefore Bandai would not make Yu-Gi-Oh cards after that. This Mystical Elf was the only card for Mystical Elf that Bandai made ever, even though they did release 3 different sets of cards. This is a very unique card where she is she's in a similar pose to the Mystical Elf you're probably familiar with, but isn't blue with brown hair and instead is rocking the Billie Eilish look. The second Mystical Elf ever released under Konami, and I consider it to be the most significant Mystical Elf card in the world. It released July 23rd, 1998 with this iconic artwork we all know and love. And this was the first time it was ever on a card. I have one here to show you, and let me just flip over. Let's see the back there. Very different looking. So this card could only potentially be obtained by purchasing the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh video game, Monster Capsule, Breen and Battle for PlayStation 1. I say potentially because in each game you would receive 3 random cards out of a set of 10, and you were not guaranteed any specific one. While character art is the exact same you get in LOB and other sets, of course you'll notice the card format around the art is very different. Konami only used this card format for their first 2 production runs of cards. This being the first set, and the second set being another 10 cards after this for their next video game released at the end of 1998 called Duel Monsters 1, and that was for Game Boy. The third release was on March 27th, 1999 in the Volume 2 Booster. It was a super rare and no card number or Eye of Anubis hologram was on the card, as many early cards from Konami did not have this. The fourth release was on December 16th, 1999 in EX Starter Box as a common, no card number and no Eye of Anubis as well. So if you ever see a Mystical Elf that is super rare, no card number, no Eye of Anubis, it has to be from Volume 2. It will be every single time. And if you see a common one, no card number, no Eye of Anubis, it will be from EX Starter Box. That's kind of how you tell the difference. The fifth release was on August 10th, 2000 in Booster Phantom God as a super rare. It has a card number and Eye of Anubis for the first time here, card number PG-01. The sixth release would be November 23rd, 2000 in EX-R starter box as a common, card number EX-01. Interesting that they keep giving her very, very low card numbers in all of these sets, kind of pointing to her being a little bit of a fan favorite. The seventh release was on March 8th, 2002 in the North American booster Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon as a super rare, LOB-062. Eighth would be March 29th, 2002 in North America starter deck, Yugi as a common, SDY-001. Ninth would be August 22nd, 2002 in Japanese Duelist Legacy Volume 2 as a common, card number DL2-043. The 10th was on May 5th, 2003 in Japanese Structure Deck Yugi Volume 2 as a common, SY2-006. All right, everyone. I hope you learned something here today. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure to check the Instagram that will have a link below, and I better see you at the table next time. Ciao, mi familia.